Sometimes, the most valuable advice I can give a buyer is not which property to purchase, is to tell them not to buy. That might sound unusual coming from a real estate professional. After all, real estate professionals are normally paid when a transaction closes. But if the numbers do not make sense, the risks are greater than the potential benefit, or the property does not support the buyer's real objective, moving forward can become a very expensive mistake. Today, I am going to explain the situations in which I may advise a client to step away from a property even when they love it and they are financially prepared to buy. Welcome to the Foreign Buyer's Guide to Mexico, the series created to help foreign buyers understand how real estate transactions work in Mexico and make better informed property decisions. I am Nancy Valiente. I am an attorney, economist, and real estate advisor with more than 13 years of experience representing buyers in Puerto Vallarta and Riviera Nayarit. In episode 8, I showed you how I compare two properties before recommending one. But there is another possible conclusion to that analysis. Sometimes neither property is the right choice, and a responsible advisor should be prepared to say that clearly. When buyers become excited about a property, they naturally begin looking for reasons to make the purchase work. They imagine the furniture, the view, their vacations, their rental income, or the life they could have there. At that point, it becomes easy to minimize information that does not support the decision. My responsibility is different. My job is to examine whether the property, transaction, and level of risk are consistent with that buyer's objectives. There are good properties that are wrong for a particular buyer. There are also attractive properties being offered under terms that I would not recommend accepting. Saying do not buy does not necessarily mean the property is terrible. It might simply mean that the transaction does not make sense for that buyer at that moment. The first reason is financial overextension. The purchase price is not complete cost of buying and owning property in Mexico. Buyers must also consider closing costs, fideicomiso, expenses when applicable, furniture, repairs, insurance, condominium fees, property taxes, maintenance, and unexpected expenses after closing. If buying the property would require someone to use practically unavailable cash, I become concerned. A buyer should not arrive at closing without sufficient reserves simply because the property was presented as a unique opportunity. There will always be another property recovering from a purchase that created financial pressure can be much more difficult. A buyer might technically qualify to purchase a property and still not be financially prepared to own it comfortably. Those are two very different things. Real estate decisions are emotional, especially when buyers are visiting Mexico for only a few days. They might feel that they must make an offer before returning home. They might also hear phrases such as, someone else is interested, this is the last unit, or the price changes tomorrow. Sometimes those statements are true, sometimes they are sales pressure. Either way, urgency should not replace analysis. If a buyer is moving forward mainly because they are afraid of losing the property, I want to slow the process down. The question is not simply, will someone else buy it? The more important question is, would losing this property be worse than purchasing it without understanding the risks? Fear of missing out is not a buying strategy. If you are comparing properties in Puerto Vallarta or Bahía de Banderas and you want help evaluating the financial, legal, and practical differences before making an offer, my contact information is in the description. And if this framework is helping you, subscribe to the channel. The purpose of this series is not to simply show you listings or properties. It is to help you make smarter decisions. If you are wondering about this incredible view, well, I am right now in Conchas Chinas. This is Ocho Cascadas. This is a beautiful place that you can visit. They have a restaurant open to the public, and this is where you can enjoy this beautiful view. The third reason is lack of verifiable information. Every real estate transaction has questions. The issue is whether the important questions can be answered before the buyer becomes fully committed. Depending on the property and type of transaction, buyers might need to verify ownership, liens, condominium obligations, permits, taxes, physical condition, contractual terms, or the authority of the person signing the documents. In pre-construction, additional questions might involve the project, the land, permits, payment obligations, delivery terms, and what happens if the developer does not perform as promised. Not every missing document automatically means the transaction must be abandoned, but if essential information cannot be produced, explanations continue changing, or the buyer is being asked to send significant funds before the basic transaction can be verified, I might recommend stepping away. A beautiful presentation does not compensate missing information. Another reason is that the property does not solve the buyer's actual need. Imagine someone who wants a comfortable retirement home but becomes attracted to a very small unit because of its rental projections. Or someone whose priority is immediate use but is considering a pre-construction property that might not be delivered for another 2 years. The property might be appealing, but the objective and the property are pulling in different directions. This also happens when buyers compromise on location, accessibility, space, or monthly expenses because they are focused on one impressive feature. A spectacular view can lose some of its appeal if the buyer cannot comfortably reach the property, does not enjoy the surrounding area, or discover that the monthly costs are higher than expected. Before recommending a purchase, I return to the question we discussed in episode 8. What is this property supposed to accomplish for this buyer? If the answer is unclear, the buyer might be purchasing a fantasy rather than a solution. Some buyers accept additional risk because they expect a better price, greater appreciation, or a strong rental income. That can be reasonable, but only when the potential reward justifies the risk and the buyer understands both. I become cautious when projected returns depend on perfect conditions, constant occupancy, aggressive nightly rates, uninterrupted views, low expenses, or immediate appreciation. Real investment rarely performs exactly as presented in a sales presentation. A conservative analysis should include vacancies, management, maintenance, utilities, condominium fees, taxes, competition, and lower demand periods. If the investment works only under the most optimistic assumptions, I do not consider that a strong investment. A buyer should understand what happens not only in the best case scenario, but also if the property performs below expectations. Consider a hypothetical buyer who finds a condominium with an impressive view and a strong projected rental income. The buyer loves the property and is ready to make an offer, but after reviewing the numbers, we discover that the estimated income does not include management, maintenance, utilities, replacement cost, or lower occupancy during part of the year. We also learned that the condominium fees are expected to increase and that another project could eventually affect part of the bill. None of those facts alone necessarily makes the property a bad purchase, but together they may change the decision. If the buyer's priority is rental income and the realistic net return is much lower than expected, I would not try to persuade that buyer to proceed simply because the property is attractive. I would explain the difference between the original expectation and the information we can reasonably support. The buyer may still decide to purchase it for personal enjoyment. That is their decision. But it should be an informed decision, not one based on numbers that do not survive careful examination. When I advise a client not to buy, I do not simply say, I don't like this property. I explain the specific reasons, what information is missing, which numbers do not work, what risks are outside the buyer's comfort level, which part of the property conflicts with the buyer's original objective. Then I distinguish between three possible conclusions. First, do not buy this particular property. Second, do not accept the transaction under its current terms. Or third, do not buy yet because the buyer needs more information, stronger financial reserves, or a clearer objective. Those conclusions are not the same. Sometimes a problem can be resolved through further due diligence, better contract terms, a different price, or additional time. In other cases, walking away is the most responsible decision. If you are considering property in Mexico, give yourself permission not to buy. Do not allow the cost of a trip, the time already invested, or the fear of missing an opportunity to force a decision. A successful buying process is not measured only by whether you purchased a property. It is measured by whether you made a decision that supports your objectives and protects your financial position. Sometimes that decision is yes, sometimes it is not this property, and sometimes it is not yet. If you are considering buying property in Puerto Vallarta or Riviera Nayarit and want guidance based on your objectives, not pressure to complete a transaction, you can find my contact information in the description below. And subscribe to the channel, watch the complete Foreign Buyer's Guide to Mexico playlist. In the next episode, we will continue with the next stage of making a smarter and more strategic property decision in Mexico. I am Nancy Valiente, and I will see you in the next episode.